convert any single substance to becoming a resource. That's why they are the most important. Look at the example. Countries which is having, some of the European countries actually, like the western part of the UK, now in the eastern side of the USA, this zone of the world, they are actually highly populated, and in this area not only they are highly populated, they are actually having much more skilled labor. The number of laborers, or most of the laborers, are much more skilled, or they acquired the technology, they know the technology or how to use the technology. That's why these are the part of the world which is known as one of the developed regions or developed part of the world. Now that is why in this area, with the help of the skilled labor, with the help of the technology, the country is much more making progress and they are developed. But at the same time, you can look at the other examples of the other area, the Somalia, Yemen, Ethiopia, most of the African nations also, they are actually developing. Now why they are developing? Either they have very less manpower, that means in their country maybe population is much more less, that is why they don't have people to convert a resource to convert a substance to becoming a resource. Otherwise, they have the manpower, but as they lack the knowledge, they lack the uses of the technology or modern kind of technology, they can't acquire or get the knowledge, and that is why with the lack of use of technology and knowledge, the number of people cannot be convert themselves a good human resource for their country. That's why they may be having more number of people, but because of lack of knowledge, lack of technology in that zone, people are not efficient or they are not efficiently performing as a human resource. That's why the country is not a developed country. So here we can get the idea. Most of the country, maybe populations are huge, or some of the countries where the populations are very huge, but the country is not a developed country because of the lack of knowledge among the people. They are not having skilled labor. Most of the laborers are unskilled, and not only that, with the lack of use of technology, the country cannot make the progress or cannot transfer a substance to becoming a resource. That's why the human beings are also not a good resource for their country. But same number of human beings can be a good resource for a country when the country will provide them with a certain number of situation, a good situation to work there. Not only that, most of the laborers are skilled and they can get the knowledge from that area, and with the help of technology they can utilize this kind of knowledge to make something. For that country, the number of people are a good human resource and the country will make the progress in the nature or progress for the world. That's why the development level is different for a different country. Some countries are developed, some countries are not developed, or some countries are developing actually. And this depends over the level of technology they possess, the amount of the number of people for that country, and the knowledge of the people for that country. Now that is why the human resources are much more important for the world. Now the next part that we are going to discuss is about the human-made resource. Human-made resource means any resource or materials that is made by the human beings with the technology available there in the nature, that is known as the human-made resource. Look at the example, construction. Any type of construction done by the human beings, that is an example of human-made resource. Anything that you can see in and around you, most of the things are made by the humans only. Even the technology that we are talking about so much for this chapter, that technology also even actually developed by the people. So that is also the example of a human-made resource. Look at the structure or infrastructure, any structure of the building, roadways, everything, vehicles, all these are the human-made resource. So humans are actually capable of making certain number of substance to becoming a resource, and as they can perform to their fullest strength or fullest ability or capacity, so basically by that humans are transforming a particular substance to become a resource. Now human resource can have different type. Different type means for some of the country they can be called as progress. For some countries, human being can be called as skilled labor, but for some of the countries, they cannot be called as skilled labor, and definitely it varies from country to country, varies situations also. The situations are also going to change. Now, Developed countries are having lots of good situations for the workers or human beings to perform well. Now, what kind of situations they are providing to the people? In their country, they have good law and order. Not only that, the stable type of the government they have good economic condition, they have good political scenario. Apart from that, they have good banking facilities, they have good infrastructure of the roads and the railway network or the communication network and transport network. Not only that, in their country, most of the time, the technology is available, and by this, most of the time we can see that they can provide the labor or the workers with a good kind of condition through which they can perform well and they can do the betterment for the country. So human resources are very important for today's world, and humans, as they can able to convert the resource into the development for the country or for the development of the country. That is why the human made resources are also making progress for the development, and indirectly it will help the country to make the prosper or to go for the prosperity or development for that particular region. Now the last part of the chapter that we are going to discuss, it is about the conservation of the resources. Now, why we need to conserve the resource? We have to understand this idea before, then we will be going to the part how to conserve the resource or procedure for conserving the resource. Now, with the progress of the technology and with the progress of the civilization and advancement of the science and technology, we have seen that in the nature, the activities of the people that is continuously going on recklessly. And as people activities are going on recklessly, we have seen that people without thinking or much more thinking, they are continuously doing something that is harming the environment in a negative way. What kind of activities of the people are actually harming the environment? Or we can see the disturbing this kind of the balance of the environments. Most of the time, people with that reckless activity of cutting down of the trees or maybe cutting the trees for a various type of profit purpose or business purpose or doing the deforestation. Not only that, apart from this, continuously people are doing the soil erosion. People are changing the scenario of the natural environment, and with all these activities, we can see that indirectly it is going to affect us or human beings, animals and the plants. So that is why as people are changing this scenario for their own profit or for their own betterment, we can see that indirectly and directly in the future we are going to have or feel the effect of this kind of the changing of the scenario. And that is why in today's world we need to think that we need to conserve the any kind of resources, or we need to conserve mineral and all other variety type of resources. That is why conservation of idea or idea of the conservation comes to people's mind because of their reckless activities continuously going on in the environment. And conservation actually means to save something or to preserve something for a purpose of future use or the current use also. That is why the idea of the conservation is very important. Now, as we are talking about the idea of the conservation, we have to think that now we can save the minerals, we can save the particular amount of the natural product or resource so that our generation can be utilized it properly. But how we can ensure that in the future generation too, people will get the amount of the resources? The answer is sustainable development. And here we comes to the idea of the sustainable development. Now the word sustainable development means it is a kind of approach through which, without compromising today's need or present generation need, when we are going to saving something for our future generation, or we are balancing today's need for saving something for the future generation, it is known as the sustainable development. This approach is actually known as the sustainable development. So basically, through the sustainable development, we can save the amount of the energy or amount of the minerals that we are using for our day-to-day purpose, or amount of the resources that we are using for our day-to-day purpose, and through which we can see that we can save something for our future generation. So here you can see this. This is the sustainable development, and here you can see the concept of the sustainable development. Balancing our present needs of using the resources without compromising the ability of our future generations to meet their own needs. That means we are not telling you to compromise your needs. So without compromising, we have to save something. So how without compromising we can save something? When we can utilize exactly what is required. That time the excess amount of the things cannot be wasted, and by that we can save something for our future generation. That's why the idea or concept of the sustainable development for the modern world is very important, and it is a basic idea to conserve the resources or to reserve the resources. Now that is why balancing the present need, we have to balance it. We have to balance the need, and how we can balance it? If we are utilizing or using the resources which is only required. Excess things if we are going to save, or excess uses if we are going to save, by that we can save something for the future. So we are not compromising by for using it, but as at the same time we are saving something for the future generation. This is known as the sustainable development, or this approach is known as the sustainable development. So in today's modern world, this approach is very much necessary because of our all reckless activity going on in the nature, and human beings are only responsible for that. And for this we have certain number of principles for this kind of the sustainable developments. Now what kind of principles we have for the sustainable development? Here you can see this sustainable development. Number 1, respect and care all forms of life. All forms of life actually means, look at the example of the fish. We can take the example of the all type of lives, from starting with the trees to the animals, domestic or wild animals. We have to respect and we have to care, including the human being. The next principle that we are going to see here is conserve the earth's ecosystem and biodiversity. That means we have to save the biodiversity or all biological diversity. Along with that, we have to save the ecosystem. Why? Because this kind of reckless activity of the people, as it is continuously going on, by that all the number of plants, animals, they are actually on the verge of becoming extinct, and that is why some of the animals and plants are also endangered species, and by this actually our ecological balance is hampered, and definitely for that we need to save them, and by that we can preserve the ecosystem or we can save the biological diversity. The next principle you can see, the minerals or fossil fuels like coal, petroleum or natural gas, it should be used carefully. Just now we discussed about the classification, and in classification we read that minerals and fossil fuels, they are actually non-renewable type. Once they have been completely finished from the nature, they cannot be again reproduced, and that is why this kind of minerals and fossil fuels, they can be used, but they have to be used properly and carefully or wisely or judiciously. That's why this is the another principles of the sustainable development concept. And last thing that we can see here, educational responses, or according to that we can see that educational some programs can be observed or can be made or can be produced, and by that information sharing is very much necessary for today's world. If we need to share the information, or if we can share the information, that we have to save the environment, and along with that we have to save the various type of resources. By sharing the information also, we know that we can give people the awareness that this kind of resources are depleted from the nature, and for that we need to think sustainable way, or we need to think judiciously or wisely, so that it can be saved in the future. And that is why we can give the future generation some amount of the or some conserve or reserve of the resources. That is why the educational program should be arranged. Along with that, we need to do the sharing of the information or information sharing activities. And the last but not the least is about the recycle procedure. There are 3 golden rule of conservation that already we know. It is about the reuse, recycle and reduce. So basically we have to reduce our utilization or our uses. Look at the example. If the excess amount of the water we can save from being wastage. We can at least save some amount of the water resources. Not only that, if suppose in our household or in our homes or houses, most of the time, if we see that the fan, light or other electrical appliances, they are not in use, that in that current moment, we can switch off light, we can switch off fan. By that also we can save the electricity. Not only that, we can recycle some of the materials, and by the recycle procedure, we can save something for the future. Look at the example of the second-hand books. Most of the time, if we have the habit of buying the second-hand books, indirectly we will be helping the nature. How will be helping? Indirectly, we will save the number of trees to be cut down for making paper or making the new books, and by that we can recycle the old books, old papers to make something new. So recycle procedure is very much necessary. Along with that also we can reuse, recycle and reduce, and by that we can do one thing. We can conserve or we can preserve the same amount of the particular resources, not only for us but also our future generation. That is why the wise, and that is the main reason, the wise and judicious use of the resources is much more necessary for the today's modern world, as our demands are much more complex. That is why we need to save it for us and for the future generations too. And here comes the idea of the sustainable development. That is why sustainable development approach is very much necessary and appropriate for the today's modern world. Up to this much, you have learned about the topic our resources, the classification of the resources, and along with that, different aspect of the resources and how to save it in a sustainable manner or in a sustainable way. Thank you.